So was the riot spontaneous or planned to perfection? The FIR says the mob began shouting provocative slogans and spreading false rumors. The mob said, "We will show the police now. We will not spare them nor any Hindu." This is mentioned in the FIR. The mob was also chanting Aurangzeb Zindabad. Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis insists the guilty will not be spared, even if the guilty have to be dug out of their grave. The RSS, meanwhile, has said Aurangzeb is not relevant. Is there a message for the BJP, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad and the Bajrang Dal here? Joining me on this India Today special broadcast is Anand Ranganathan, author and consulting editor, The Swaraj. Shoaib Jamai is the Delhi State President of the AIMIM. Sanju Verma is the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And Tehseen Poonawala joins us as a political analyst on the broadcast. Anand Ranganathan, the FIR very clearly indicates or gives details of an anatomy of a riot, spread a rumor, gather a mob, target the police, including women constables, systematically unleash unseen fear in the area. Anand.
Good evening, Gaurav, and good evening to my fellow panelists. It seems like deja vu. It seems like I have read such an FIR hundreds of times before, during the Delhi riot, during the Sambhal riot, during so many other riots. But it has to be said, thank you for bringing this out in detail in public. The chilling details of Fahim Khan inciting the riots in Nagpur leave very little to imagination. But Gaurav, while it may come as news to many, as I said, it is not to me. Because in being relieved at him being arrested, we are yet again missing the woods for the trees. After all, I ask you, did Fahim incite riots in Kanpur over Nupur merely quoting the hadiths? Was it Fahim who beheaded Kanhaiya Lal? Was it Fahim who led a bloodthirsty mob that killed Ankit in Delhi? Was it his roof that stocked acid bottles and stones and rocks? Was it Fahim who planned to assassinate Vishnu Jain during Sambhal survey? Was it Fahim who attacked hundreds of Ram Navami processions, Durga Puja processions, Hanuman Jayanti Shobha Yatras, even Garba celebrations with impunity? Was it Fahim who removed Bhagwa flags from temple in Mudabidri and replaced them with Islamic flags? Was it Fahim who replaced Ashok Chakra in the Indian flag with Islamic Kalma in Mehboob-Nagar? Was it Fahim who stood for elections from Meerut offering 51 crores to anyone who beheaded Charlie Hebdo journalist? Was it Fahim Gaurav who screamed Ralif, Galif, Salif from mosques? Was it him who attended the funeral of Burhan Wani, of Yaqub Memon, of Nasrallah? Gaurav, there is a parallel world that is inhabited by millions of Fahim Khans. A world where they are not bound by rules, morality, ethics, propriety by which they want the rest of us to be bound by. Because their morality, ethics, conduct is not dictated by man but by God. Let us be under no illusion. The situation is intractable. It hasn't changed for 1,000 years. Why on earth would it change in 10? Remember, Islam transcends national boundaries. You are a Muslim over and above everything else. Aurangzeb would remain a hero for them simply because he fulfilled the directives that every faithful is required to fulfill when it comes to non-believers and their culture and way of life.
I wouldn't have believed, some of what you say, and especially Aurangzeb is a hero for anyone in India. I'm surprised, and I want our viewers to even listen to that mob that was chanting Aurangzeb Zindabad or words to that effect. Stay with me, Anand. I want to bring in Shoaib Jamai. A mob caught on camera chanting Aurangzeb Zindabad, a cruel Mughal emperor who tortured and killed Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, who beheaded the 9th Sikh Guru Tegh Bahadur, his disciples in the most cruel manner. By Satidas, by Matidas, by Dayala, they were, cut into two, burnt alive, boiled in oil. Why? Because they didn't accept Islam. That man is a hero for even those who chant Aurangzeb Zindabad today. Shoaib Jamai, is that acceptable?
Not supporting that chant, not supporting the violence, not supporting that praising of anybody who have nothing to do with the modern Muslim society of the India. But do you support
No, don't ask me what I support. Just answer me this. You're not supporting. Are you condemning? Is the Muslim society condemning it? Not supporting it is one part of the story. Condemning it perhaps is equally important, sir.
who is actually the mastermind of this whole Nagpur riots should be investigated. Who have burned the sacred chadar where the inscriptions
Are
of
you again
the
spreading that
Arabic
rumor because the
and
chief
the
minister has
Prophet?
gone on record and
It
perhaps
was
Sanju Verma will set the
no,
record straight as the BJP
it is
spokesperson on
it
the
is
broadcast,
on
but
the
the chief
record.
minister is saying there was no sacred chadar that was burnt.
The chadar, these kind of chadar were sent by Prime Minister Modi to every shrine that green
This is
chadar was
scary.
there,
Please stop
and
this.
it was
Maharashtra is my state. I
there.
will not take this bigoted guy spreading
The
rumors.
thing is that
Okay, there's Tehseen Poonawala who wants to come in, Mr. Shoaib Jamai, as does Sanju
no.
Verma. But
See,
sir, okay, but wait, two
we did
quick
not
interventions
say
if you permit.
anything.
Shoaib Jamai,
No, this lie
permit a
this
quick
lie
intervention.
can't be
Tehseen
tolerated.
Poonawala,
You can't
why are you unhappy?
can't do
I'm
the
gonna
story one-sided.
I'm gonna
You
castigate
can't
the
narrate
BJP
your
in this
story
show.
one-sided.
But
You have
this
to
is
be,
dangerous what this man is
you have
doing.
to do,
OAC Saab did this in Parliament. As far as
no.
we know, I also know the commissioner very well, what the chief minister said. There were no ayats of the Quran, as OAC said it. This is again trying to ignite my state.
I did
Please,
not say
viewers of
ayat.
India Today, these people
I
are
did
not
not
on the
think
streets,
that.
they're making the poor fight. Don't fall for this.
I did
Let the
not
police
think it's
investigate.
ayat.
If that's happened,
Okay.
we'll go after them.
शोएब
This is
जमाई
rumor
आप
mongering.
जवाब देना चाहते हैं शोएब जमाई आप जवाब देना चाहते हैं क्योंकि तहसीन पूनावाला भी बोल रहे हैं कि उस चादर में कुछ कुरान शरीफ की कोई आयतें नहीं थी पुलिस भी ये कह रही है मुख्यमंत्री भी यही कह रहे हैं
मैं आयत की बात ही नहीं कर रहा हूं मैं कुरान शरीफ की बात ही
So
नहीं
OAC was lying in Parliament.
लेकिन जो चादर होती है वो कब्र पे यहाँ से चढ़ाई जाती है सूफी संतों के मजार पर चढ़ाई जाती है वो हरे कलर की चादर में मक्का और मदीना की तस्वीर बनी होती है वैसे ही चादर प्रधानमंत्री मोदी
This
जी
is a
वहां
lie.
पे
This is very dangerous. Nothing. There was no Makkah Medina
नहीं कह रहा,
photo.
आयत की बात है
OAC is
लेकिन इस
also,
पर
and
FIR
OAC said there was
दर्ज हुई है।
ayats on this. This is lying. They're lying on national TV.
ये-
This will
ये
cause riots.
FIR दर्ज हुई है नागपुर में और सवाल ये था कि मुगल्स पे तो चर्चा हम करते रहते हैं वी ऑलवेज डिस्कस अबाउट द मुगल इन द टेलीविजन नेवर व्हेन मुस्लिम केम इनटू द स्ट्रीट व्हाई दिस टाइम बिकॉज दिस इज नॉट अबाउट सपोर्टिंग द औरंगजेब
Okay.
दिस इज बिकॉज की रिलीजियस टेंशन वहां पे क्रिएट किया गया यू एक्चुअली डिस्टर्ब द कम्युनल हार्मनी बाय शोइंग दैट चादर एंड डिलिबरेटली यहाँ से उसको आपने डिस्क्रिप्शन किया है और ये फैलाया रूमर वो किसने फैलाया वहां तो कोई मुसलमान नहीं थे ना जिसने वो तस्वीरें खींची और
वहां
Instagram पे
मुसलमान
फैलाया,
नहीं थे आप कह रहे हैं
वो
संजू
mastermind
वर्मा
थे। मास्टरमाइंड वो थे तो
संजू-
मास्टरमाइंड आप उसको बोलिए मास्टरमाइंड आप मत बोलिए यहाँ से
फहीम
आपको यहाँ
फहीम
पे
खान
की जरूरत उसकी
संजू वर्मा
साबित
wants to
कराने-
respond go ahead madam
बताइए ना हु इज द मास्टरमाइंड नाउ
okay
Gaurav,
संजू
I
वर्मा
need my time.
Go ahead, madam.
Please.
only संजू वर्मा please शोएब जमाई साहब सुनिएगा go on
Thank you. You know, Gaurav, first and foremost, let me not pussyfoot. Yes, law and order under the 7th schedule of the Constitution is a state subject, but I think the Devendra Fadnavis government has handled the entire situation brilliantly with restraint, as was the need of the hour. Things could have easily escalated into something far worse, but it was contained. Now, coming to Fahim Shamim Khan, you know, let's be very, very clear. What I don't understand is this compulsion, ye dar kyun hai, to name and shame, to call out the bluff of radical Islamist terror. You know, the dramatis personae have not changed. The modus operandi has not changed. Be it Sambhal, where Circle Officer Anuj Chaudhary, he barely escaped death. He was shot at. Or for that matter, the Mao violence in Madhya Pradesh. Or for that matter, Niketan Kadam, the DCP of Nagpur, who was attacked by a violent radical Islamist mob with an axe. And he barely escaped. You look at the modus operandi. पहले ये civilians को target करते थे. अब civilians के साथ साथ these people have started targeting our police constabulary and our people in uniform. Point number one. Point number two, the name could be Fahim Khan, the name could be Akhtar, Abdul, Zakir, Afzal. The fact of the matter is that there is one community which is at the epicenter of violence. They are the perpetrators, they are the oppressors. And on television debates, in television studios, look at their gall, look at their audacity. They come and pretend to be victims. पहली बात तो आप victim हो ही नहीं. दूसरी बात और सबसे अहम बात is this, Gaurav. What I want to also, speak about the Congress in this. Did you look at the statement of the Maharashtra Congress chief, Mr. Sakpal?
Okay.
He has actually supported. Can I please finish? I barely started. Can I please make my point? Then you can interrupt me. I did not heckle you. Now please learn to listen. सुनना सीखिए, सिर्फ टीवी डिबेट पर आकर बोलना नहीं है.
Right. Make your point, madam.
Thank you.
Madam,
Gaurav, the limited
this is
point.
not your kitty party.
No. Oh, please don't make those kitty party type remarks. No. Shoaib Jamai. No. Sir, unacceptable. Unacceptable, sir.
You can do a monologue from your kitty party or in your.
I am sorry.
That's a sexist statement. It's a disgusting statement to tell anybody. It's a sexist, disgusting statement. You can disagree with BJP, I do. I will be castigating them. Don't make these remarks. Have some gravitas and talk on national TV.
I want to finish what I was saying.
Okay.
Are you going to allow this radical mullah to go on and on?
No, absolutely not. But there will be no sexist jibes. शोएब जमाई, मैं आपके पास आऊंगा, आप बोलिएगा, लेकिन इस तरह से नहीं, इस तरह से नहीं. ये सुनिए ना, ये नागपुर की सड़कें नहीं है. मेरे शो पर राइट नहीं होगा. मेरे शो पर राइट नहीं होगा.
Fine, let him speak. I will not do the debate if I am not given my time, which I think I deserve. I did not interject him.
Go on, madam, complete your point.
You need to give me my time.
शोएब जमाई साहब, 2 minute wait कीजिए. Ma'am, complete your point.
Thank you, Gaurav. I don't care what Shoaib Jamai said. I don't need certificates about myself from him. आपके सर्टिफिकेट की ना बीजेपी को जरूरत है ना संजू वर्मा को, इसलिए शांत हो जाइए. Don't embarrass yourself on national television. But the moot point is this. Why I also blame people like the Maharashtra Congress chief? अब वो आदमी की तो खैर बात करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, because everybody knows that he's steeped in bigotry. He makes reckless and baseless statements. और बाद में कहते हैं मेरा कहने का मतलब कुछ और था, भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने कोई और मतलब निकाल लिया. अब वो आदमी की बात नहीं करेंगे. But I want to ask the Maharashtra Congress chief, why is it when Nitin Gadkari, why is it when Devendra Fadnavis is saying that let us maintain calm, peace and harmony, what is the need to make incendiary and provocative statements? And Gaurav, let me just finish very quickly. Do you remember in 2023, in the new violence in Haryana, people blamed Bittu Bajrangi, or kaun nikla culprit? Maman Khan, a former Congress MLA. In April 2022, Shobha Yatra, when Ashok Gehlot was the chief minister, Karoli mein Shobha Yatra thi. Can I please finish?
Okay, now I'm interrupting Sanju Verma. Give me a moment. Quickly complete your point, Shoaib Jamai. Before I bring in Tehseen Poonawala. Tehseen Poonawala wants to come in. But Shoaib Jamai, complete your point quickly, sir. Okay, Sanju Verma, please give me a minute. You've made your point, madam. Sir, complete your point. I'll come back to you, Sanju Verma, for your next intervention. Shoaib Jamai, complete your point, sir.
जैसा कि चीफ मिनिस्टर साहब ने कहा कि ये डेलिबरेट था, बिल्कुल डेलिबरेट है, क्योंकि चीफ मिनिस्टर की तरफ से और बीजेपी की तरफ से ये डेलिबरेट अटेम्प्ट था कवर अप करने के लिए. क्या कवर अप करना, अभी कुछ
ठीक, आपका ऑडियो जैसे आएगा हम फिर करेंगे. क्या अबू आजमी बीजेपी में है? तहसीन पूनावाला, if somebody like Abu Azmi praises Aurangzeb, or an Imran Masood who praises Aurangzeb, are they in the BJP? I don't understand this. Also, I want to focus on the substantive point. The FIR has very chilling details of the assault that had taken place. The mob, says the FIR, touched the female constable inappropriately, attempted to strip her uniform, hurled obscene comments. Female officers were subjected to obscene gestures and verbal abuse. Is this what praising Aurangzeb or a riot is all about?
Thank you for having me on the show, Gaurav. At the onset, whatever side of the divide we are, we all hope that the police officers who were injured recover soon, especially the DCP whose hand was cut. So we all want peace to return. There are two aspects to this. What is being missed, as I castigate the BJP and take your viewers to the option, is in the last 9 days in Maharashtra, a cabinet minister has had to resign on murder charges. Ladki Behna, the allocation has been reduced, and there has been 8 farmer suicides per day as released by the union government in Maharashtra, which is the highest in the country. So somebody is benefiting from the diversion. But how did this diversion take place?
So Fahim Khan, you're saying, is working for
Abu
BJP.
Azmi.
Abu Azmi is working for BJP. Imran Masood of the Congress party is working for the BJP.
You're going to be stunned to know what happens. The day the cabinet minister has to resign, Abu Azmi comes up with this bigoted statement on Aurangzeb.
Then let the opposition focus on the real issue. But why?
I need to come in here. Tehseen is misleading your
Okay,
viewers.
Anand Ranganathan,
No, what
your
happened
viewers.
is my
I
team
need
won't
to
come
come in
across.
here.
I'll just make my point and the BJP can attack me or Anand can attack me. What's happened is
I'm not
that
attacking.
actress, she started this whole thing, the actress, Abu Azmi, and then what Rani said and T. Raja said, it went completely out of control. The question to ask out here is,
Gaurav, I need
this
to
mob
come in
that
here.
went
Sure.
here, Sanjuji, please, the mob that went here had no leaders from the BJP, had no leaders from MIM, and today also OAC tried to stoke fires by saying there was verses from the Pak Qurani Sharif, ayats from the Pak Qurani Sharif. Nothing of this sort happened. The mob did go on a rampage. What you've said is chilling. This is unacceptable. There's been intelligence failure. It's a pattern. But it's been done by
the
ministers in the
BJP needs to
Maharashtra
come in
government.
here.
It's been done by these lowlifes like Abu Azmi. And this is done to help the government of Maharashtra. I am saying this on record.
But you haven't criticized the mob.
The mob
No, I'm
should be-
sorry.
There are charges on the mob.
I am sorry.
No,
There is a pattern. There is a pattern. Okay,
And
Sanju Verma, quickly
And I
respond to the
want
point
terror
on
charges on them.
intelligence failure, operations failure. The chief minister may now be saying, "Kabar se nikal ke saza denge," but the police were caught napping or at least caught flat-footed here.
You know, Gaurav, first and foremost, let's get one thing very clear, and this is with no offense to Tehseen. Tehseen sitting here and talking about the state of the economy of Maharashtra is such a shan. Karnataka Khatakhat model. Please, you spoke about Lalki Bain Yojana. Not to Tehseen, please learn to listen because you don't like being heckled.
Sure.
Khatakhat model of Karnataka has pushed Karnataka into the throes of bankruptcy. Khatakhat model of Congress in Himachal has pushed Himachal into the throes of bankruptcy. Khatakhat model of Congress in Telangana has pushed Telangana into the throes of bankruptcy. But Tehseen Poonawala sits here and gives lectures to the BJP on matters pertaining to governance in Maharashtra. Please keep your unsolicited advice to yourself. But the moot point, Gaurav, is this. And I repeat, why is it that Rahul Gandhi, why is it that Siddaramaiah, why is it that the likes of Ashok Gehlot, why is it that the likes of Priyanka Vadra, who broke police barricades, ladki hu, lad sakti hu, kehte hue Hathras pahunch gayi, why is it that this lot is not able to condemn Islamist terror for what it is? No violence. Who was involved? Maman Khan, a Congress MLA.
Okay.
Tahir Hussain was involved. AIMIM में अभी शामिल हो गए. पहले आप में थे Shaheen Bagh riots. Who was involved in the Bengaluru riots of 2020? Former Congress Mayor of Bengaluru, Sampath Raj. Who was involved in the 2022 Shobha Yatra violence in Karoli, Rajasthan? Former Congress councillor.
But that's a fair point. That's a fair point, Tehseen Poonawala. When she says, why are our political leaders and especially in the opposition completely silent when a radical Islamist mob comes out on the streets and targets security forces?
I am saying this, please put terror charges against them. But
why aren't Congress leaders or Samajwadi Party leaders or AIMIM leaders, why aren't they saying it?
MIM is busy stoking fires. You saw what OAC said.
Again, you're saying selectively, Congress silent, Samajwadi Party silent, RJD silent, DMK silent. So many of our India bloc parties are completely silent.
Gaurav, I just have one point to make. Every single example that Sanjuji said, they are in the power. They are in the
okay,
power
sir, you're not answering my question, which is very unfortunate. And this is where. No, but I am not. I'm asking you a simple question.
I'm answering it.
Should the Congress be condemning it?
For the last 11 years, the government in the center state is failing. Everywhere they have a double engine sarkar, there is violence.
So,
please resign. And somebody will run the country better than they can.
Fair enough.
They are doing this.
Fair enough.
I am telling you on record, Abu Azmi was involved with the BJP in making this happen.
I want to bring Anand Ranganathan. I want to bring. Look at that. Everything except the radical Islamist mob that went on the rampage. Terror charges in Sambhal, terror charges in anti-CA riots in Delhi. Okay, Anand Ranganathan. Anand Ranganathan, the FIR. And I once again want to come back to the FIR because I want to stay with the story here. The FIR says, despite being instructed to maintain peace, the above mentioned individuals, and it has a long list of those who were there, gathered a crowd of 500 to 600 Muslims at the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj statue Chowk around 4 p.m. on March 17, 2025. It then goes on to say they resorted to violent action, blocking the police from performing their duties and inciting riots through social media. Is there an indication that this was spontaneous or very well orchestrated and intended to send out a message, Anand?
It was absolutely orchestrated. It was pre-planned like the Delhi, Sambhal and all other riots that we've seen. But here I want to come to the nub of the issue because I'm afraid that's being missed. Now, Tahseen said, of course, if AIMIM person provoke riots, then he would be arrested, he would be put behind bars, justice would be done. Well, exactly the same thing happened in Karnataka, if you remember, in Hubli. And what happened? The Karnataka government withdrew the case. This is what happens because their excuse was, we were provoked. So please give me a minute, Gaurav, I want to destroy this trope once and for all. You know this thing, why provoke Muslims into rioting, burning vehicles, pelting stones, attacking cops? And here too, Hindus are being blamed for starting it by burning an effigy of Aurangzeb and allegedly burning a cloth with an embroidered verse. Well, should Hindus riot every time, Gaurav, when you burn Manusmriti? So stop blaming Hindus for saying they provoke Muslims. The essence of Azan, which is, quote, there is no God but Allah and no one has the right to be worshipped but Allah, 4062, unquote, amplified through the loudspeaker 5 times a day, whole year round near a temple, is not provocative. But celebrating Ram Navami or singing Bhajman Ram Charan Sukhdai one day in a year near a mosque
It is
or
not
burning
provocative.
effigy is, besides,
Because the Constitution allows
Yes, if you're
violent
violating
people are provoked into
No.
violence. And this
It
is
is
the
not
same justification
provocative.
given every time they attack
No,
Hindus.
don't allow this kind of narrative in the national channel. This is
But
not
then I ask
provocative.
you, why
Azan
don't they
has
apply
never
the
been
same
provocative.
to Godhra riot
It has been
and justify
One by
the
one,
reaction?
gentlemen.
There.
Only
They
Anand
don't bring this
Ranganathan.
reaction theory. Gaurav, we have to accept what Ambedkar said, quote, Islam is a closed corporation. The brotherhood of Islam is not the universal brotherhood of man. For those who are outside the corporation, there is nothing but contempt and enmity. The allegiance of a Muslim does not rest on his domicile in the country to which is his, but on the faith to which he belongs. Islam can never allow a true Muslim to adopt India as his motherland and regard a Hindu as his kith and kin. Was Ambedkar Sanghi? Was he from the RSS?
Okay, but I want to get both Tehseen to respond to it, and only on this topic, because I'm staying on this topic for now, and no diversions, and I want to bring in Mr. Shoaib Jamai also. But quickly, you wanted to respond to the point where he's making. Look, if the mob is taking to the streets, and if the mob is resorting to violence, you may say, koi aur tha, ye tha. Is mob ke khilaf hard action, and
Terror charges.
There is a
no
pattern.
If, no but.
Delhi anti-CAA riots. Indian Muslims will lose their citizenship. Canard spread, rumors spread, and we had riots in Delhi. Terror charges there also?
I am very clear on any writing. If
If
I'm allowed to speak, because I'm continuously being interrupted, I'll just take 45 seconds. Terror charges on anyone doing anything that is picking up weapons that will hurt our police officers or cause riots. Number one. Number two, I just want to correct.
No, picking up weapons and targeting anybody.
Anybody.
Nobody
Period.
except security forces.
Period.
Let's be very clear about that.
Gaurav,
Nobody has a
Gaurav,
veto in this country
Gaurav, you have
except
to give me
security
45
forces.
Seconds. Terror, absolute hate speech charges on OAC right now for what he said.
Well,
on rioting, but
hold on. No names of people who are not on the broadcast.
Please allow me to.
Yes.
Please allow me just. And I have to clarify one thing that my friend Anand said, which was not true. In Hubli, out of the 1500 cases, 30 were withdrawn, 18 on Muslims, 12 on Dalits. Those are fake charges. Everything else continues to stay. So that's the fact. You may fact check me on that. But I am very clear with an iron hand. Please tell me, time and again, where there is double engine ki sarkar, Manipur, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, why is this happening? This is happening because you have an incompetent
Sanju Verma,
government.
respond. Why is this happening in double engine sarkar states?
Everywhere.
Sanju Verma.
What does Tahseen mean? ये double engine सरकार के चलते ही होती है. You know, taking off from what Anand Ranganathan said, Gaurav, let me make one thing very clear. There were 1,600 cases that were filed pertaining to the riots in Shivamoga and Mysuru way back in 2012. The moment Siddaramaiah came back to power, he first revoked all charges against PFI activists pertaining to the Shivamoga riots. Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Vadra ne taaliyan bajai. Well done, Siddaramaiah. The next thing Siddaramaiah did was he revoked terror charges that were placed against 130 PFI personnel pertaining to the Hubli riots of 2022. उसके बाद भी सिद्धारमैया को castigate करने की बजाय Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Vadra said, well done Siddaramaiah. So the limited point I'm making is parties like the Congress, they are Muslim League 2.0, Rahul Gandhi is Jinnah 2.0 because they have normalized they have rationalized radical Islamist terror. Be it Shibam Moga, be it Aligarh riots, be it Muzaffarnagar riots, be it whether the Hashipura riots of 1987, the Bhagalpur riots of 1989, the Azad Maidan riots in Bombay of 2013. Congress has never called out the bluff of radical Islamist terror, and Asaduddin Owaisi is only an extension of the worst side of Congress.
Shoaib Jamai, respond. Even if there is a rumor, anyone who has an issue should approach courts of law, should go to the police, register an FIR. That has to be very clear. If there is a rumor and a riot, the guilty, irrespective of who they are, must be punished, whether it's anti-CA riots in Delhi, Sambhal or Nagpur.
See, our party has made it very clearly.
Okay, only Shoaib Jamai. Go on, sir.
See, our party has made it very clear that we did not support any kind of violence, and we always stood for the peace. But the thing is, what the chief minister has said before, क्यों उनको कब्र की याद आ रही है अभी? कब्र से निकाल के इस तरह के स्टेटमेंट एक चीफ मिनिस्टर को शोभा देता है? आप किस गड़े मुर्दे को उखाड़ना चाहते हैं, या किसको आप ढकना चाहते हैं जिसके लिए आपको कब्र उखाड़ने की जरूरत पड़ रही है? ये बीजेपी की राजनीति चमकाने के लिए अगर आपको किसी की कब्र की जरूरत पड़ रही है तो ये शर्मनाक बात है। आप अपने काम बताओ ना कि क्या आपने काम किया है।
नहीं तो ये फहीम खान क्यों कर रहे हैं बीजेपी? फहीम खान जैसे लोग क्यों कर रहे हैं बीजेपी की राजनीति?
सी प्लीज डिड नॉट इंटरप्ट बिकॉज
नहीं मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं,
If you want the time of MIM, don't interrupt.
No, I am not interrupting anybody, but I want all our guests to stay on facts. And my question to you, sir, is Sambhal में riots, दिल्ली में CA के टाइम पर riots, यहां पर riots, रूमर फैला जी riots हो गए, रूमर का आधार पर riots का अधिकार नहीं है किसी को, ये कब समझेंगे लोग?
नहीं है अधिकार, लेकिन यहां
समझाइए फिर।
राइट्स कौन फैला रहा है? ये बीजेपी और हिंदुत्व संगठन के खिलाफ बोलना कब शुरू करेंगे आप लोग? कब एक तरफा नैरेटिव चलाते रहेंगे? कब तक डेमोनाइज करते रहेंगे मुसलमान कम्युनिटी को? कब तक आप बदनाम करते रहेंगे?
सुनिए, पुलिस वाली के कपड़े उतारने की कोशिश की, पुलिस वाले की कपड़े उतारने की कोशिश की, मोलेस्ट की एक पुलिस वाली को, और यहां पर सुनिए, आप कब तक कवर फायर देंगे? आप कब तक कवर फायर देंगे रेडिकल इस्लामिस्ट को? शोएब जमाई सुनिए, आप मुझको मेरे ब्रॉडकास्ट पे आप डरा नहीं सकते। शोएब जमाई
भाई मैं नहीं डरा रहा हूं।
नहीं तो आपके चेहरे पर एक बार जिस मॉब ने एक पुलिस वाली के कपड़े फाड़ने की कोशिश की, उसके खिलाफ क्यों नहीं बोल पा रहे आप? क्यों नहीं बोल पा रहे आप? क्यों?
इसकी चड्डी पहन के आए हैं,
क्यों?
उनको चले जाना चाहिए सीधे सीधे बीजेपी में है। और आप यहाँ से ये आपके खिलाफ बोलेंगे? आपकी हैसियत क्या है? किसी ने कहा प्रोवोकेशन होता है, अजान से अगर प्रोवोकेशन होता है,
I don't care what he calls me as long as they follow the law of this land. आप इस देश में रहते हैं तो इस देश के कानून का पालन करेंगे कि नहीं करेंगे? That message has to be very clear. Anand, that message has to go out very clear.
डेमोनाइज नहीं कर सकते। आपको स्टोरी चलाना है चलाइए, लेकिन दोनों तरफ की स्टोरी दिखानी पड़ेगी। FIR दर्ज हुआ है बजरंग दल के खिलाफ, हिंदू परिषद के खिलाफ, उनके भी लोग गिरफ्तार हुए। इसलिए वो गिरफ्तार हुए क्योंकि उन्होंने दंगे भड़काने का काम किया है। एक तरफा स्टोरी चलाएंगे आप, और आपको बिल्कुल चुप नहीं,
एक शब्द बोलने की हिम्मत नहीं है शोएब जमाई आप जैसे लोगों की, जो पुलिस वालों को छेड़ रहे थे। एक महिला पुलिस वाली, और ये पहली बार नहीं हुआ है। आनंद रंगनाथन, वी मस्ट स्टेट फैक्ट्स। रजा अकेडमी राइट्स 2012, अगेन पुलिस वुमेन वर मोलेस्टेड देयर इन मुंबई। रजा अकेडमी, देयर इज अ पैटर्न। आनंद रंगनाथन, और कैसे चुप कराएंगे? किसी को ये हरी चड्ढी, किसी को ये चड्ढी, किसी को वो चड्ढी। अरे किस तरह की चड्ढी आप पहनते या नहीं पहनते, ये आप मुझे बताइए। Heaven's sake, I want to bring in Anand Ranganathan. Anand, the tragedy in this country is the moment you call them out, the moment you call out those who will spread a rumor and then resort to riot, and there is a pattern, whether it's Delhi, anti-CA riots in 2020, Sambhal, rumor of an excavation as an excuse to riot, and now Nagpur. This is a template, Anand. This is a template.
If
Thank
the
you
story
for
is
saying
different,
it,
that a Muslim
Gaurav,
law-
because-
Okay, just get that man to be on mute while Mr. Ranganathan responds.
Yes, thank you for saying this, Gaurav, because I started by having that as a premise. It's all very well to catch one Fahim Khan, but as you know the facts of this case of the FIR, he was the one who spread this fake news, but there are tens of thousands of others who accepted it. And as a word of, I don't know, God sent or something. And it was not Fahim Khan who actually was throwing stones, who was trying to molest the police officer. It were the other people who believed him. It were the other Fahim Khans. How many will you arrest? Something has to be done. I mean, this situation is going down the bottom of the abyss at breakneck speed. And although I am heartened by the kind of good comments, right comments that Tehseen has made, even he would accept that it's not just a battle of dealing with one Fahim Khan. There are hundreds of thousands of Fahim Khans, and unless we go to the nub of the issue, that our politicians don't have the courage to anymore, I'm afraid this situation, as I said, is intractable.
And Tehseen, which is where we need educated Muslims to come forward. We need educated Indians to come forward and send across this message that you can't get offended by anything that's happening. If you are offended, then please go to a police station. Please go to courts of law. In India, India will be governed by the law of this land. This message has to go across.
Absolutely. If I can just take 30 seconds and to reach out to our fellow citizens. A movie cannot offend you. If you don't like a movie, walk out of the theater. You don't like this show, change the channel. You don't like a book, write another book or shut the book. You don't have a right to burn things down and fight over that. That's point number one. If rumors affect you, stop listening to rumors, either side of it. Remember, none of the politicians, their kids on either side were involved in this. It's only the poor and the middle class who suffer in these riots. Stop doing this. Nobody cares about these issues. Only the politicians are benefiting from it. Think about your family and the future of India. If you think about 400 years from now about India, not going to 400 years in the past.
Stop glorifying the Aurangzebs of this world, for
Aurangzeb
heaven's
was a
sake.
figure of hate. Starting from that actress to Abu Azmi to everybody, Aurangzeb is not an issue.
Okay.
Real Indians are committing suicide right now.
Sanju Verma wants to come in, Anand Ranganathan wants to come in, and I hope Shoaib Jamai has something sensible to say. But go on, Anand Ranganathan.
Yes, no, that is why one of the reasons why I adore Tehseen is he says the most un-Congress-like things and gets away with it. Every single thing, sensible statement that he has made has been overturned by the Congress. Who banned satanic verses? Who banned all those films for the risk of offending the other community? Who cried at Batla encounter? Who was the one who said all these things are fake? Who banned Danish cartoons? The fact of the matter is, Gaurav, unless you remember what has happened, the Congress government in Karnataka withdrew the cases of the AIMIM legislator who rioted. The DMK ally of Congress gave bail to the...
Okay. Can I come in, please?
Yes, I want you to come in. I want you to come in, but I also want to bring Shoaib Jamai. Hopefully,
You have to give BJP time to speak.
Hold on.
This cannot be a debate where you only allow the political analysts to come in.
Hold on. Permit me to conduct this debate. Permit me to conduct this debate, please. I want to bring in Shoaib Jamai. Yes, give me a moment. Shoaib Jamai, how does one get this message across? There can be no justification for a riot. If you live in this land, live by the laws of this land. You have a grievance, genuine rumor, anything. Approach courts of law, approach the police.
The most sensible thing to do to stop this kind of hatred is to stop those shops of the media who run one-sided story and planning hatred against one community.
The tragedy with people like Shoaib Jamai, that's the tragedy. You want to shoot the messenger who will expose. I am sorry, we are exposing, and I'm glad you are here so that people get exposed, that these are the elements who will shoot the messenger and not read the message. Tehseen, not once will he read the message. Okay, I also want to bring in Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, that is the real problem. People end up shooting the messenger and not reading the message.
No, this is the only solution.
Only Sanju Verma.
I don't understand.
I will come to you when you have something sensible to say, Shoaib Jamai, because this is an educated debate that we are having. Tehseen Poonawala is here, but go on, Sanju Verma, complete your point.
Thank you. Thank you, Gaurav. Thanks for the fact that, I can see only you and me on both sides of the screen, because I think I deserve to have an uninterrupted say. Gaurav, the nub of the issue is this. I've been hearing people saying, our politicians are not able to take tough decisions. Our politicians are politicizing the entire issue. No, the problem does not lie with politicians alone. I think the biggest problem is, A, we were all taught wrong history by the likes of Ramchandra Guha.
Okay, again, he's not on the broadcast. My request is, let's stay on the subject without names for now.
Okay,
go on, ma'am.
Let me finish. Gaurav, my limited point is this. You look at the history of the last 7 odd decades, I always say have a sense of proportion. Sitting here and giving bhashan to the BJP might get you brownie points, but that's not the nub of the issue. Hashimpura riots 1987, Bhagalpur riots 1989, Aligarh riots 2006, Dhule riots 2008, Beganga riots 2010, Bharatpur riots 2011, Kokrajhar riots 2012, Azad Maidan riots 2012, Muzaffarnagar riots 2013, Malta riots 2016, Badilia riots 2017, Asansol riots 2018, Shaheen Bagh riots 2020, Bengaluru riots 2020. Who is the perpetrator, Gaurav? The perpetrator.
Ma'am, post 2014, it is your government. Post 2014, it is your government. Sincerely hope.
Islamist terror needs to be called out without any ifs or buts, Gaurav.
Ma'am, now let's move beyond calling them out. Now let's move to punishing the guilty. Punishing them in courts of law. As Tehseen said, Sanju Verma, completely take your point. Punish them harshest possible sentence under the law. But Tehseen, perhaps it's time for the community elders, for the educated in our entire country to come forward and send that message. A riot is unacceptable in Bharat, live by the laws of Bharat.
I think the Muslim community does live by the laws of the Bharat and the constitution of Bharat. I think it is the extremists, people, and even today, though he is not here, a member of parliament spreading fake news and his representative.
No, but again, I don't want names on the broadcast.
That's why I'm not taking names.
Yes, I'm glad.
To say that Ayat was there versus this is a terrible thing to do.
No, but there is a pattern. There is a pattern.
You cannot be offended by anything that you choose. That is a rumor or anything. Don't be offended. Nothing can offend us. Let people do what they have to do. We have to work towards the progress of Bharat. That is our only goal. Our goal is to take the community and the country ahead. We have to get into none of these issues. That should be the only goal of the community. I'm very clear about it.
I will let that be the last word on this part of the show. I want to thank all my guests for joining me on this broadcast, because that one message that clearly must go out. There is no right to riot, irrespective of the provocation. Right provocation, wrong provocation, rumor, whatever it is, you have a problem, please go to the police, please go to courts of law. They will handle this. This is Bharat, governed by rule of law.